Hi, folks, and welcome to our Revere Veterans and Community Show. Today we have a special guest. His name is Bill Sage. He's the co-owner of Sports Clips, which is next to the Flaming Grill. He's been there in business for a year. And Bill, first, well, let's say welcome.
Thank you very much,
to Revere TV, Channel 8.
Great to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. So your business has only been there a year, but you are a co-owner, so give us a little history.
Okay. Well, I'm co-owner with my brother-in-law, Mitchell Muroff, and we've been there in the store for about a year, but I'm not new to Revere. My father at one time owned and operated the Howard Johnson's Hotel next to the Northgate Shopping Center. In fact, he was the one who created the Bisateki Japanese Steakhouse. It was the first Japanese steakhouse in Revere. And also, my father is an owner in Northgate Shopping Center. So, you know, we're not strangers to Revere. We know the area very well.
Right. Now, your father is also a Korean veteran.
Yes, he is. Yep.
So tell us a little about that.
Well, no, he served in the Korean War very proudly, and he has his veterans plates as well. Not everyone does that, but he has his veterans plates, and he's very proud of it.
You mean the dog tags?
No, the license plate.
Oh.
Yeah. Not a lot of veterans do that, though.
That's right, because a lot of them don't know about it.
Yeah, yeah.
So all they have to do is go down to the Registry of Motor Vehicle when they renew their license and just tell them they're a veteran, show them their ID, and they'll give them a veteran's plate.
I believe that's the process, yep.
And is that extra? I think they do have to pay a little extra for that.
They do have to pay a little extra, but he's very proud to have that acknowledgement on his car.
Right. It's funny, I don't have it, but I wish I knew it, and I would have done it. So the next time I go to renew my place, I'll make sure I get one of them.
Definitely, you should. You know.
Tell us about the business itself, the people you have working there, the chairs you have working there, what you do there, what you don't do there.
Okay. Well, basically, it's a store. The Sports Clip store is part of a franchise, a company that's been in business for about, I think it's 25 years. The company is based out of Texas, but ours is a franchise. And they have over, I believe it's now, because it keeps increasing, over 1,200 stores nationwide. And they didn't come into New England until about 3 or 4 years ago, because they had a lot of stores down south and quite a few on the West Coast, but they didn't really have anything in New England. So they made a concerted effort to open up stores in New England. And my brother-in-law and I, we looked at the different franchises. We looked at Supercuts and some of the other competing companies. And we thought that you know, being affiliated with Sports Clips would be a big help to us. And right now in New England, they have, I think it's 12 stores that are open, and they have a few more down the road within the next couple of months that'll be opening. And it's been a great experience for us with being affiliated with Sports Clips.
That would be good, because the people in New England let their hair grow long because it gets cold in the winter, so they have more hair to cover it, you know? So that's good for the business too, Bill.
Yep, no, it definitely is.
Okay.
And like I said, we're very happy with Sports Clips. It's a privately owned company, and we're very happy about being affiliated with them, even though they're brand new to this area, because and we think Revere was a perfect place to open up a store. You know, it's our first store. We have an agreement to do 6 stores. We have a second store down by South Station.
Bill, excuse me for a second. That new store you open up is open next to another new store that opened up, and that's Flaming Grill Restaurant?
Yep.
And you're right next door to them?
Yep.
Oh, so we got really 2 new stores there.
2 new stores, and I'll tell you, that place is busy. You know, that parking lot is always busy, and it's done a lot for our business, and we have a lot of good neighbors there. We get along great with the Verizon store there. The gentleman who owns the Verizon store owns 5 other stores, and everybody is very supportive and helps each other. And it's a really good community to work in.
You know, you mentioned something before we went on the air. I used to go to Dollar Tree there, and I would be able to park any place. Now when I go there, when Flaming Grill opens up, hardly a place to park.
It was like that now, but it's gotten a lot better, because a lot of people did want to try it out. But
I see.
But it's gotten a lot better. But no, that restaurant it's a great restaurant, and I know a lot of people who go there too. Right.
I'd like to ask you about your the place that you called Sport Clips. Is that correct?
Right.
What exactly haircuts? You know, like you go into some barber shops. That's what we called them in the old days.
Right.
They would give you a shave. They would clip your nails, shine your shoes, even shine your shoes in the old days.
Right.
Do Sport Clips do all that, or they just concentrate on one item?
We just concentrate on just doing haircuts, and then a tea tree shampoo, and a massaging shampoo, and also we put a hot towel on your face so you have like a soothing experience there.
But no shaves or anything?
No shaves, no coloring. We're just really strictly, just haircuts. And we're geared towards men, but we also do women. It's just that with women, we just don't do blow dries or long hair, though.
Oh, so it's both men and women are welcome
Right,
there.
right.
And how many employees do you have?
We have 5 employees there, and that includes the manager of the property. And I tell you, we had when we opened up the store, we had like 2 employees who did such a great job for us that when we opened up our Boston location, which is near South Station, we made, and they're both residents of Revere. We made one of them the manager of the Boston location, and she has clientele who used to go to the Revere store and say, when are you coming back to Boston? You say, well, I'm kind of here helping my brother in Boston. But so we believe in promoting from within.
I got to ask you this because I'm a nosy bugger.
It's okay.
You ever get any famous people coming in there, or have seen famous people come into the Boston office? Offhand?
Yeah, but I can't really mention their names.
Were they singers, artists, politicians?
They were politicians. Yeah.
Famous politicians?
Famous politicians.
Good. That's the first time I heard that word used.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about your education, your history, how long you've lived in Revere.
Well, I don't live in Revere.
Okay.
I feel like I do live in Revere. But I went to Greenfield Community College, and then from there...
Which is located where?
In Greenfield, Mass.
Yep.
And
that's way out on the western part of the state.
Western part of the state, yep. And I got a great education there. And right now I'm going for my bachelor's degree at the Harvard University Extension School.
Oh, and what are you majoring or studying?
Liberal arts.
That's very good.
Yeah. Although they do a lot more things on the internet today than they do in the classroom.
Yep, I'm a computer dummy. Well, I know a little about the computer now, but if you were to put me up against someone who's very familiar with it,
yeah,
I call myself a computer dummy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because, people try to show me how to work on that 30 years ago. I used to be a draftsman,
yeah,
structural, and I used to do it by hand.
Okay.
Then they came out with a computer.
Is it called CAD?
CAD, right.
Okay.
Computer-aided design,
yep,
drafting.
Yep.
I never got used to that because even though you had to do it by hand on the computer, it was the same thing. Yep. If you had to do it by hand on paper. The only difference was if you made a boo-boo or if you wanted to make a change, it was 100 times quicker to do it on the computer electronically than it was to do it by hand.
Well, it'll make you feel better. There's a good friend of mine who's also an architect, but he says he doesn't use CAD either.
He still does it by hand?
Does it by hand.
Right. And the reason I say that, a lot of the kids that I spoke to today that don't know how to do it by hand, but it's the same thing if they had it on paper as they do it on the computer. The only disadvantage, if the electricity goes out, you're out.
Yep.
Whereas in our cases, we could do drafting by candlelight if we had to.
Yep.
So that was it.
Yep.
Now, you said you have 5 people working at the Revere office?
Yes. Yep. We do.
And in other words, it's not a long waiting line then if someone comes in to get a haircut because some barber shops only have 2 or even 1.
Yeah. No. I mean, I won't kid you. On occasions, there have been times when people had to wait, but we staff it accordingly, though.
Oh. And how does that work? I mean, you got 6 chairs, or you do have 6 chairs.
Yes.
So sometimes if you need an extra barber, you have like a part-time barber coming in?
Yep. We have, like I said, we have a manager who does the scheduling, and she's very good at that. And what we do is we look at...
What's her name again?
Her name is Kelly Mahoney.
Right. Welcome to Revere, Kelly.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead.
But no, she'll take a look at the business that we did the past week and say, okay, based on the business that we did on these days, here's how she's going to schedule people. And like I said, I won't kid you, there have been times when there's been a wait, but the waits really haven't been long.
That's good. Now, I don't know how the barber shop works, but I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
It may not sound sensible, but it's still a question.
Okay.
Do you charge by the hair or by the haircut? In other words, if a guy comes in with just a couple of hairs on his head and one comes in with a head like yours, is there any difference?
Yeah, there's a difference.
Oh, there is a difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's by the haircut, not the hair.
Oh, okay. No, the reason I ask you because there's a lot of bald people out there, that don't get a haircut and they feel embarrassed because they're bald. They shouldn't really be embarrassed because, like I said to my friends, come Halloween time, just paint their head blue and they could go disguised as a ballpoint pen. Okay. See, so there's no problem with that. If they don't want to do that, they can drink a glass of tomato juice if they're thin and go disguised as a thermometer. But either way, they can have a good time Halloween.
Yep.
So I thought I would mention that to the bald people that are out there.
Okay.
Now, I don't know, seniors, and I happen to be a senior myself,
Right.
as we get older, we start to lose the hair.
Right.
But they have this now, too, where they have hair transplants or they have these chemicals. Are
Right.
they good for the people to put on their head to have their hair grow back, Bill?
When you say, is it,
Yeah, the stuff that you see advertised on TV, that they could have hair transplants, chemicals that you can put on your head that'll make your hair grow back.
so I think you got to be very careful. Some of them I think are gimmicks, and I think there's just some that you got to really check out and do your homework. Some, and I really don't want to mention any names because
No specific names.
But there's some that are out there that are definitely worthy, but there are those out there that you really got to be careful.
I would
with.
personally feel that you were flirting with nature because when you do put chemicals on somebody's where chemicals was never intended to be,
Right.
it might create some problems for them.
Right.
So would that? Okay, don't mention any names.
Okay, I won't.
Any brand names.
I won't.
Now I got it. You have a family?
Yep.
Married?
Yep.
Tell us a little about that too.
Okay, well, I have twin daughters. One just graduated from Tulane, and she's in a 5 years master's program.
Tulane University. That's a
in New
terrific
Orleans.
college, by the way.
It was great. When she decided she wanted to go to school, first thing she said was, I don't want to be any place where there's snow. I said, yeah, but you grew up in it. She said, no, I don't want to live in snow anymore. So she's in a program now. It's a 5 year program at Tulane, where next year she'll get her master's.
And what is she majoring in?
She wants to be a CPA.
Certified public accountant?
Yep. So I get somebody to do my taxes.
Yep.
And I have a daughter who just graduated from University of Rhode Island, and she has a fellowship with Merrimack College, and she's studying in, I can't remember exactly what the title is, but it has to do with higher education.
I'd like to interject something here.
Sure.
Your daughter's studying to be a CPA, and of course doing taxes, that helps the IRS because, it helps them do less work really themselves if it was just to check it out.
Yeah.
About a month ago,
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I got a couple of phone calls from an IRS. They want to audit me.
Oh, no.
No, one from Washington State, one from Texas, with a telephone number on there that I was a delinquent in taxes and all that jazz. And when I called their numbers back to talk to them, all I got was busy signals or beep, 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 or they're not available on there. These were scams.
Yeah.
People, I think, should be careful when they get phone calls like that the IRS wants to audit them. Usually, I think if the IRS wanted to audit you or me or anyone, they would send you a letter first. And if that wasn't possible, the IRS is located right here in Boston. Their main office is located in North Andover.
Yep.
They would contact you locally. They wouldn't be sending you somewhere from out the state, out on the West Coast or the deep south in there. So this is for the people that they should not give out their Social Security number when the IRS calls them or any information at all. And to be sure, call them back to check on it because otherwise you're going to get scammed.
Right.
So I was going to ask you a question. Have you ever gotten those calls?
I haven't gotten those calls, but interesting thing, what I have been getting is a lot of emails from banks saying my bank account has been compromised. It's banks that I don't do business with.
But did you ever call these banks to see if those letters came from those banks? Because
I have, and they would tell me just stay away from them. They're bad news.
Usually it's best to deal locally because you know the people, like the banks in Revere, I won't mention their names because there's quite a few of them, is to keep the business local because usually people will not bother you with stuff like that. When I get out-of-town calls, and I have gotten them too from banks, by the way, that never existed.
Wow.
Yep, and then I get phone calls, and right off the get-go, I got to tell you where it says private number, private name, and there's no way when you check the ID.
Yeah.
that throws up a red flag for me right from the word go.
Yeah.
So a lot of the people don't realize that there's people out there trying to scam them.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of that going on today.
Right.
You know.
Now, tell your daughter, you said you had twin daughters, but
Yep.
one is a CPA. What's the other one?
Well, no, one's going to be a CPA
Oh, okay. And one
in
was
about a year. And the other one is, like I said, she got a fellowship with Merrimack College. So I still have daughters in school right now. So I just have one more year left.
right. And how? Okay. And what is the second daughter studying?
I can't remember exactly what the title of the program is, but it has to do with higher education.
Oh,
at
like a
Merrimack
teacher
College.
or like an educator?
In administration. Actually, it's higher education administration.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. You know.
'Cause my daughters, one is a nurse and one worked for the telephone company for a long number of years. But my daughters are in their 60s now.
Okay.
I'm sure yours aren't there yet. Now, if they're
No,
going to
no,
college, they're in their 20s.
They have a long ways to go.
Right.
But you had a daughter who became a nurse?
Yep.
Okay.
One of my daughters is a nurse. She's 62, I believe, or 61. And my other daughter worked for the telephone company, retired.
Okay.
And she went to work for an airline.
Okay.
So,
Well, my daughter, the one that is going to Merrimack College. She went to University of Rhode Island, and she started out studying to be a nurse, but after a semester, she thought, you know, maybe I should try something different. It's very challenging, very tough to go through.
it is. It is.
And my hat's off to your daughter because it's an awful lot of work, and you know.
It is. But I got to give the nurses credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
By the way, when you came on the show,
Yep.
and you first came into Revere,
Right.
you mentioned a gentleman who used to be the president of the Chamber of Commerce in Revere. He did a beautiful job. His name is Bob Upton, I believe.
Yep.
Tell us how you first met him.
I got to tell you, when we first came into Revere, Bob Upton, you know, this is when he was president of the Chamber of Commerce
Right.
in Revere. You know, Bob came into our store to meet me. He gave me such a warm welcome. He'd been to the store several times, and we would talk during the course of the year. And I got to tell you, I used to be, because my family used to own a hotel in Cambridge, and I used to be the chairman of the board of the Cambridge Chamber of Commerce. When I was chairman in Cambridge, I never went to visit the various businesses, but Bob did, and that really impressed me. And I really take off my hat to him and the people of the chamber, and not just Bob, but the other people involved with the chamber have been very supportive. But like I said, I've never had such a warm welcome like that. You know, and it's such a great experience.
Not only that, but Bob Upton, besides being the president of the Chamber of Commerce, is also a veteran, a
Right.
former veteran of the military.
Yep.
And he does an excellent job out there. So, Bob Upton, thank you.
Yep. No,
From
he's a
Bill's
great
sake?
guy. Yeah, great guy.
You also have our new elected representative, Rosalie DeVinson. She
Right.
came down?
No, she came down to visit. Now we're not. I hope I don't get myself into trouble. We're not in her district. We're in
I know that, but I
we're
mean,
in
that was
Speaker-
nice of her to come down to begin with.
Yeah, no, we're in Speaker DeLeo's district, but
Yeah.
but she came down to visit and was very nice and very supportive. And you know, when she came down to the store, I think we spent about an hour or so talking about a lot of people we knew, and she was very helpful with ideas and suggestions and very supportive. And she didn't have to do that. And we've had people from City Hall, the mayor. I'll tell you.
Oh, Mayor Rizzo?
Mayor Rizzo, I am very impressed with him. I think he does a very good job. I think Revere is happy to have him, and I can't say more than enough nice things about the mayor.
They say the proof is in the pudding with Mayor Rizzo. Just
Yep.
look around the city of Revere and see the new accomplishments that are going on.
Yep. No, he's done a lot, and I'm very proud to have a business in his city.
Yep, and you know, he did him and the fire department, the police department, the Department of Public Works just a year ago. As a matter of fact, this month, July the
Yeah.
28th, a year ago this month, we had a tornado here.
Yep.
And they pitched in there, and let me tell you, within about 4 or 5 days, everything was cleared up, and they collected funds to help the people rebuild their houses, their homes.
Yep.
And they did a terrific job, and we had no problems,
Yep.
except what nature created for us.
Yeah.
So I want to thank the police, the fire department, the Department of Public Works, and especially our mayor, Dan Rizzo,
Yep.
and his group.
Yep. No, they did. No, I remember that was a really terrible time when that happened, and the city really came through.
That was the first problem we had, was July 28th. In the hot summer months, we had a hot tornado.
Yep.
In the winter, we broke the record of snowstorms.
Yeah.
The snow amount that we got in the city of Revere.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I was going to move out of my house and build an igloo. I would have been warmer, really. Just get in there.
Yeah.
There was snow that was piled 15, 20 feet in some places there.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting because our store's across from Suffolk Downs.
That's right.
And I just remember, driving to the store, and like every day I would look on the side and I see these huge mountains of snow in the parking lot, and it's like, my God, what are they going to do with all this?
It's a shame we didn't get the casino on Suffolk Downs, because you not only could have given their jockeys a haircut, but you could have done something about some of the horses that I saw that were out there too. You could have shaved them. But the commission shaved us for not giving us the casino.
Yeah.
So
well, that was. I mean, we opened our store not because of the casino. I know some people thought we were doing it in anticipation of the casino,
right.
But we opened the store there because, again, going back, and not to be redundant, but like our experience with Bisateki, it was the first Japanese steakhouse in New England, and we saw the response to that, and we figured if we can create a new concept with that, we figured having a new concept like Sports Club coming to the area would be a success, and it has been.
Here's a question I would like to ask
Yep.
you. I've never been in the how do you pronounce it? The Japanese.
Bisateki?
How do you pronounce it?
Bisateki.
Bisateki.
Yep.
What kind of food do they have there that's completely different from the food that we Americans eat?
Well, it's teppanyaki cooking.
Yeah.
If you haven't been there, they cook the food for you on your table.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's really the experience of cooking the meal at your table.
But what is the food that they have, even though they cook it on the table, different
Right.
than what we eat? Like, what is their specialty over there?
It's been a long time since we sold the business, but basically it's like chicken and shrimp.
What do you mean when they say sushi?
Sushi?
Yeah.
Sushi is like, it's like raw seafood.
Oh, is that what? Raw seafood?
Yeah. I'm not one.
No, I mean, I wouldn't eat it either, but I mean,
Yeah.
there are people that would eat raw seafood.
A lot of people
How do
like
you
that.
know it's not contaminated
I don't know.
if it's raw? Because they tell you even cook the meat, make sure it's cooked good.
Yeah.
Even fish, when they say cook the fish, make sure it's cooked good, or put a thermometer in there. But
Yeah.
yet they eat the raw seafood.
People like it.
Okay, there's something new for me too.
Yeah.
Now, Bill, we got about 5 minutes left.
Okay.
What I'd like to talk, business has improved, but years ago, how did people before the barbershops, if you know a little history about barbershopping, could you give us a little history on that?
Well, my history, like I said, my knowledge is basically through sports clips.
Right.
But
Where was the first store a sports club started?
the first store opened, I believe it was in Georgetown, Texas, and it's by a fellow by the name of Gordon Logan. And I think I mentioned to you earlier, it's a private company, so it's not
Right.
publicly owned. But this is the only business that he owns, and it's a family business where about 90% of the stores are franchises, but he also has a couple of dozen stores that he operates himself too.
Here's something I was going to ask you.
Sure.
What days? Some stores are open 6 days a week. Some
Yep.
stores are open 7 days a week.
Yeah.
The barber shops, are they usually like a 5 day, 6 day, 7 day, or?
A lot of it depends on whether it's a chain or it's an independent or not. But a lot of stores are open like maybe 5 or 6 days.
The reason I asked you that,
But our store's open every day.
7 days a week?
Yep.
That's good, because a lot of people work during the week. They might
Yep.
not get a chance to get to the store except Saturday or Sunday.
Yep.
And some of the barber shops are not open
Right.
Saturday or Sunday.
Right.
But Sports Clubs is open 7 days a week. Is that
Yep.
just the individual franchise's decision, or that's all the decision?
It's the individual franchise decision, but probably I'd say about 98% of them are open 7 days a week.
That's good.
Yeah. Now, our store in Boston is only open Monday through Saturdays. We're not open on Sundays, but in Revere, we're open, every day of the week.
And the hours, if I may ask you the hours?
The hours are, all of a sudden I slipped my memory, 9 to 8 Monday through Friday, then 10 to 6 on Saturday, and Sunday it's 9 to 5.
Okay, another question I would like to ask you, because I'm not familiar with barbershops. At my age,
Okay.
I'm lucky I got single hair left.
That's okay.
Okay, but the people, can they call in, like, for example, if I went to busy, and I got a busy schedule, could I call Sports Club and say, look, could you book me for 2 o'clock tomorrow, let's say, for a haircut? Could you make reservations, or you got to come in first come, first serve?
Yeah, no, we don't take reservations right now, but Sports Clips has, and it's something that they've been talking about, and I think they'll be rolling it out maybe in about the next couple of months. They're going to set it up so that people can call in or do it on the internet and just go and say, okay, I'm coming in a half hour, and they can do it like that. But right.
Oh, so they can make their reservations roughly.
Right, but that's not available now.
Now, okay,
Right,
that's in the future?
it's in the future. But for right now, you know, there's no appointments. It's just you come right in. But what a lot of people do, though, is a lot of people will call up and say, you know, are you busy? And then they'll come in.
Okay, Bill, I got to say, I got a good lesson on barbershopping, and I
Okay.
want to thank you for
Okay,
coming.
thank
Bill,
you.
God bless you for coming to our great city of Revere.
Thank you.
Because people like you put Revere on the map, and that's where we want to be.
Thank you.
Nationwide on the map. And to the people of Revere, thank you for listening. God bless you all. God bless you, Bill.
Thank you.
But most of all, God bless our troops and our great country, the United States of America, and hope to see you again next time, folks. And thank you for tuning in.